Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this day. It's a beautiful day out, no drizzle. I know yesterday I told you there was going to be drizzle. It's not there. I'll get to the weather in just a moment. On our show today, Chuck Hale is here from the Video Club, and we're going to talk about an upcoming class that they're doing about YouTube. And he's sitting over there ready to go. We've been chatting about traveling and cruises, so maybe we'll have him on another time talking about cruising. Very knowledgeable about that. Social services today, Susan McInerney is here. She's, of course, the manager. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, and she's going to talk about that issue, where folks can get help, and we have a little video to show you on that as well. Also, of course, the Globe headlines, and Lisa sat down with Jennifer and got all the latest scoop on what's going on in the headlines for the Globe. And also there's going to be a segment today with Christine Spar. She's the Resident Services Director. She's going to give an update of what's going on in that department. Now, as far as meetings go today, United has their Architectural Controls and Standards meeting. That's a long one. It's at 9:30. I mean, the title is long. I don't know how long the meeting will be. It's listed for 2 hours, so 9:30, and that will be in the Sycamore Room. The Docent Tour is happening today as well. Now, you do need to RSVP for this, 268-2040. That's 949-268-2040. They do meet in the Elm Room at 1 o'clock. Okay, the weather. Now, yesterday, I told you we're going to probably get some overnight drizzle. Well, that did not happen. That system just kind of shrunk down a little bit. What is happening today is we're actually getting some onshore breezes coming in. And it's kind of made things really nice and cleared everything out. There's no real fog associated with this. And it's making way for just an absolutely beautiful day, about 71 degrees today. And we've got a little bit of breezing conditions as we get to the afternoon, but this isn't the offshore hot Santa Ana winds. This is the nice, cooling onshore winds. And over the next few days, you can see we're going to warm up a bit and kind of get up to normal. Normal, again, would be right around 77 for this time of the year. But nonetheless, even going into next week, this is all going to continue, this type of weather. You know, the difference is how much fog we're going to get in the morning and that sort of thing and overnight. But overall, looking all the way into next week, we're going to be right in that low to slightly mid-70s. Maybe some marine layer, and then beautiful afternoons and evenings. So it's just going to continue. Looking around the area today, beautiful. If you can get down to beaches, you know, I keep saying this, but all the art festivals start up pretty darn soon, and some of them start up in June, of course, some a little bit later, but it gets crowded down there. What a beautiful time to get down to the beaches and enjoy the afternoon and the evening down there. About 68 for the average for about Laguna Beach today, and most of the beaches is their average. Everywhere else, you can see low to mid 70s, and Arrowhead, 60 degrees up there, and Palm Springs at 92. So this is the time of the year, it's like whatever temperature you want, you can pick, and it's just a short drive away. So there you go, enjoy it. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
I'm Dr. Leif Loberg, and I want to welcome you to our brand new facility here in Laguna Woods. We've been serving the community since 2006, and we're super excited to bring you an awesome team of doctors, Dr. Jackson, Dr. Asaturians, Dr. Vian, myself, here to serve you in our brand new state-of-the-art facility. Call us in the morning and we'll get you in the same day, guaranteed.
Well, welcome back. We're with Chuck Hale, and he is, of course, with the Video Club. Today, we are talking about a class that is coming up, Chuck, in just a few days. In fact, it's on Monday, May 21st, Introduction to YouTube. And I know you've done this class a few times.
Yes, I have.
Welcome. Good to see you, my friend, as always.
Thank you.
And tell me about this class. You know, a real advantage today, you know, you're a filmmaker. You go way back from film, back to the days when you had to actually cut things on your own and into video and all. And today, really, you know, the advent of the last 10 years, anybody who wants to can publish a video at any length they want.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, I want to talk about the Video Club a little bit.
Sure.
There's a lot of different classes besides just YouTube
Yeah,
in the
there
Video
is.
Club. So it's a very active organization and a lot of different things to do there. And of course, video editing is my background, making movies.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I've graduated into posting these things on YouTube. And so we actually started this class on YouTube, and a lot of people don't realize the uses of YouTube. Most of the people either go in and look at what's being shown, some subject they're interested in, or their primary purpose is to put a video on YouTube and then send it to their friends.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's far reaching. One of the things, if you notice, I brought the little statue along.
Yes, you did.
The Laguna Woods Video Club has an awards banquet every year.
Yes, they do.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they have this big contest where all the members are encouraged to make a 4-minute video. Now, if it's 4 minutes and 1 second, it gets thrown out. It's got to be 4 minutes or less.
Okay.
And it has to have all the subjects like video editing, content, storyline, background music, this type of thing. And I'm the manager of the YouTube site for Laguna Woods, our Laguna Woods Video Club. And so these movies have been posted, whether they win first, second, or third place, they're still posted. So if the village ever wants to go in, they could go into LagunaWoodsVideoClub.com.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and find these deals. So this anyway is one of my videos, and one of the things I like to do with making movies, I have several different subjects. Okay, one of them is just pure humor. All right, just pure humor. So I did a video on planning a trip to Alaska. Okay.
Okay. And this man knows. We were
And,
just talking about that.
and as we talked about that, the trip was 105 days in length. We covered 11,000 miles. But the planning, I actually made a video on how to plan for traveling, and it's got a little over 5,000 hits, and we can talk about hits. But it talks about how I prepared all this. I had Excel files with the mileage between each stop that I was going to. I put it in a binder. I got out a map and drew lines that I was going to drive which roads and took pictures of those, and I put this in a map, and then I put out a checklist, safety things on the RV, clothes to wear, you know, just an elaborate planning, right? But what I failed to do was plan for the human element, okay? I get in the tow vehicle, and I had a travel trailer, and I hand this pamphlet, this booklet, to my wife. She spends about 15 seconds reading it, throws it in the back seat, and says, "Drive north." And I did a 4-minute video on that, and it took third place this year.
Oh, that's
on
funny.
that one. So,
Yeah, there you go.
But you know, I put down a lot of things. Let's talk about the uses, not just what my class is, but a lot of uses that people can use in YouTube. One of them is education.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know why, but I currently have the urge to play a guitar. Have no clue. I got a guitar,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to play it. So I went into YouTube and I found about 12 or 14 really good, simple step-by-step tutorials. Now in my class, I teach how to download, okay? So I went in and got these tutorials on a guitar and download it. So I figured when next time I travel, I take the YouTube and my computer with me, I'll learn how to play guitar.
You know, there are, nowadays, of course, there's a lot of things on YouTube that, you know, the kids get hooked on that maybe you don't want them to. But on the other hand, just like what you said, the guitar, there's so many things that you can find on YouTube. And I know lately, my daughter, you know, Rubik's Cubes are popular back again with the kids. And she's gotten downloaded YouTube videos on the algorithm. And so, you know, she can watch it and do the Rubik's Cube in a couple minutes and have it done. But she's learned that through YouTube. So there's a lot of things on there. Yes, there's a lot of
well, I'm actually made it some of the list.
Yeah.
Some of the own things that I've done, but some of the things that I've found is spiritual.
Yeah, that's true.
You go in and type in the word Amazing Grace, and you get so many different versions of it. It's just gorgeous. Now, for myself, I took some of the things, like there's a prose called Footprints, and another one, An Interview with God, and I took the words from I got off the internet, but I put my own photographs in the background. Okay?
Oh, very nice.
And so it's a spiritual intent. The other thing is, if you're single and you just need noise in the house, you can go into YouTube and get relaxing music with slideshows.
Yeah, yes, you can, yeah.
And that's a big thing. In a lot of cases, you were saying that with the new technology you have, you can make a video with your smartphone.
Yes.
All right? And then you transfer it to your computer, and I teach you how to upload that. And of course, before that, my first thing, and the very first thing I teach in class, is how to create an account. If you don't have an account, how to create an account. So anyway, a lot of people will take special occasions, like birthdays or christenings or funerals or whatever, okay, and put that on YouTube, and then take the link and send it to the people they want to send it to.
Yeah, right.
Okay? And there's several different ways of setting it. I put down a couple of examples here where we've done this here in the village, okay? One is we have a guy in here by the name of Jim Rapport that's a great artist. He's in his 90s and he does some beautiful artwork. So I went over and photographed the paintings he has throughout his house, just tremendous amount of paintings. So he posted that on YouTube, all right, all this video we did, and then he sent it out to galleries. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What an easy way to do that.
Yeah. The other one that I'm kind of pleased with is I got involved with a group that were dealing with a women's shelter for abused women. Okay, had drug and alcohol problems. Okay, and so together they told me what to do because I knew how to do it, but they told me what it is they wanted, and we produced a 6-minute video that went on YouTube. And by God, that little 6 minutes produced $42,000 in cash donations, and picked some company, I don't know, Ford, PepsiCo, something like that, picked up the mortgage for 2 years. Okay?
Wow!
Just from
look at the influence.
Posting
it's incredible.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
So there's many different uses. The other thing I put down here, and this is great, is how to fix something. Okay, you can go in and you can come up with some of the most off-the-wall statements. Okay, and you do just experiment, just to find what the heck. How to fix a carburetor on a 1947 Chevy, Chevy, you know. So it has all sorts of information.
I did that myself a couple years ago, and had to fix something on my dishwasher. A part, how to install it, and went on YouTube, okay, because what GE sent me was a little cryptic to follow. Went on YouTube, step 1, step 2, step 3. I just watch it as I was doing it. Perfect. I mean, it's amazing. You know, I mean, you can find anything in the way of fixing stuffing, or how to, or recipes. I mean, on and on and on and on. It's really unlimited. I mean, it is unlimited.
Now, here's another use that I find with YouTube. It's just outstanding. I do a lot of traveling. Okay, we discussed earlier that I cruise, but I also drive. But if you're going to go to a foreign country, you can go on YouTube, put in the name of the town you're going to, and find out all the things that other people have done. So you get a lot of hints on where you want to go and what you want to see when you get there. So it's a real advantage on that. Let's see, what else we got here? I mentioned that in this class, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to teach how to upload an account.
Okay.
And actually, I think I'm going to back up here for a second. The class I'm going to give is 2 hours long. Okay, it's just going to be 10 for 12. I only do it once a year. Okay, but what I do is I have actually created 9 tutorials. How to create an account, how to upload, how to download, how to send it to your friends, this type of thing, okay? But I take all 9 of these tutorials and I have produced a DVD that the students will take home.
Oh, nice.
All right, so they can actually go home and go through each one of these tutorials separately, okay, and help them complete what I taught in class.
Now, are these also on your YouTube account, so anybody can
actually it's on the same videos are on the Laguna Woods Village YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when I say Laguna Woods Village, I actually mean Laguna Woods Video Club YouTube site. Now, one of the things that you can do is just type in Laguna Woods Video Club in YouTube, and you're going to get about 197 different videos. Okay. And they are broken down, I've broken them down like into 4 subjects. I teach how a word called key codes. So you can type in VCOFLW, which stands for Video Club of Laguna Woods, space, and then put in people, and you'll get about 100 different YouTube videos of things that people have done here in Laguna Woods. But you could put in a space and add after the VCOFLW awards, you'll see all these awards that people have won on the hill.
Well, I want to mention once again, so folks know, that this is going on Monday, May 21st. It's at 10 a.m. to noon at the Video Club Lab, which is right next to Clubhouse 2. And it's $5 for members, $20 for non-members. And if you pay $20 for the non-members, it will include your club membership. So, you know, you're all good there. And you really will learn a lot. Obviously, Chuck is an expert on this, and it'll be a lot of fun. I also want to mention that tonight is their general meeting. So Thursday, May 17th, tonight at 6:30, also at the Video Lab. Chuck Holland is going to be there, and he's going to answer your questions about the Village website, Dwelling Live, whole home DVRs, and all the stuff, all the technology that's available to you right now here in the Village. But check out this YouTube class. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot. Chuck is a great instructor. All the people involved with the Video Club, I think the main thing above everything else is they want to teach people. Yeah, great.
Thank you.
We have to have them back and talk about cruising sometimes. This man cruises all over the place. Maybe show us some cruising videos.
Got enough of those on YouTube.
On YouTube. There you go. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru, where families come first. As a family-ran dealership, your family's safety is our #1 priority. Come in and find the perfect Subaru from the largest selection of Subarus in Orange County. All models are top safety picks by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. We offer the ideal balance of safety, performance, and economy. Irvine Subaru, more Subarus, more safety, more performance, more love.
I know, I put mine way up top. Welcome back. Well, we have Jennifer Carmarker here with the Globe headlines, and she's got some really good stuff to share today, don't you?
I do.
You always do, though.
Well, I try to try to put in interesting and fun stories as well as some news. So we have a little bit of everything today. Our cover story is the wearable art class, which is one of the Saddleback Emeritus classes. They held a fashion show last week. And we have photos.
They love their fashion shows, don't they?
They really do. Oh my gosh, these photos are wonderful.
Well, let's take a look, because obviously we've got them right there. Tell me about them.
Well, there's 21 members in the class, and the challenge was to channel fashion icon Iris Apfel. And so they donned feathered stoles, layers of chunky jewelry, and Apfel's signature round rim glasses, and they sashayed down the catwalk in the Clubhouse 4 sewing room last Thursday. There they are. The class is part of the Saddleback College Emeritus program that offers classes to Laguna Woods Village residents at no cost. And under the direction of instructor Melinda Smith, students design and construct garments incorporating techniques such as applique, surface design, bobbin work, fabric manipulation, dimensional texture, and collage.
Wow.
The fashion show was a semester-ending challenge for these students who brainstormed ideas for the project early on. Smith said, "There's a little girl in all of us that still wants to play dress up," and this was the opportunity to do it.
Exactly.
Judges awarded prizes in 3 categories. The Most Like Iris Award went to Susan Wheeler. The I Want Those Accessories was given to Selma Buckstein. Dorothy Kerr took home the Next Trend Center Award, and an honorable mention was given to Judy Kamen, whose costume captured Apfel's trademark walking cane and beauty mark.
Ah, there we go.
So the Saddleback Emeritus Summer Session begins on May 29th, and for those interested in registering for the class code is FASH, F-A-S-H 124X, wearable art. Now, I understand the class is full for summer. However, if students are interested, they can simply show up to the first class, and if a student drops, then they will reopen a spot for them.
Great, good, perfect.
So, in other news, we have tennis going on, of course, here in the village, a national tennis championship tournament.
Super Seniors USTA.
Super Seniors USTA. It's in its 7th year now here in Laguna Woods Village. It's the Vern Hughes Memorial United States Tennis Association's National Men's Hard Court Championships. That's a mouthful. So it's taking place here this week, and there are more than 130 seeded players divided into 4 age divisions: 75s, 80, 85s, and 90. It's the seniors only tournament, and it features national players from all over the country, actually.
Yep, out from Florida, and we saw some from Arizona, all sorts of them.
Yeah. Play began Monday, and it runs through Saturday, and there are about 50 matches in open and consolation rounds per day.
And I have to tell you, they are really good tennis players.
They're amazing.
I couldn't believe some of the shots. I mean, outrageous shots, and they move. So I was with a girlfriend who also plays tennis, and honestly, we should never say no to playing singles again, because we are 20 years or more younger than them. So, and they're out there moving really well. So.
Yeah, there are some in their 90s that are out there playing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. The USTA awards a gold ball trophy for first place, a silver for second, and a bronze for third. And unlike other tournaments, the one here recognizes a 4th place winner.
Oh, good.
Reporter Brooke Betcher caught up with one of the players, Jerry Robinson. He's playing in the 80s double division, and he's the defending champion, apparently.
Okay.
He said, "I never thought I'd win a gold ball, and then I did." He said, "We just show up and hope for the best and play our best." And his partner, Lenny Lindberg, will be joining him again this year in that effort.
Excellent.
So good luck to all the players.
Yeah, good luck to all of them. I mean, the weather's perfect, too. It's not too hot.
It's perfect, yeah. In other news, the Third Mutual Board on Tuesday rescinded, introduced, and reintroduced motions on 7 alteration standards in an ongoing effort with Village Management Services and the Architectural Controls and Standards Committee to bring standards up to date. There are currently 40 alteration standards, and the Architectural Committee and the staff has been going through them, according to Secretary Burt Baum. Some of the alteration standards that were revised include those for solar panels, satellite dishes, on single and multi-story buildings, exterior wall attachments, garage doors, and skylights. The carried motions will now wait to satisfy a 30-day notification period, and they will be revisited in June. And for specific information on each standard, you can read the story in today's Globe.
Yep.
It's there on the front page.
Perfect.
In other news, Age Well Senior Services Foundation Founder Emeritus Marilyn Diddy was recently honored for 40 years of service at the 18th Annual Signature Event Fundraiser, formerly called the Captain's Ball. Age Well CEO Steve Moyer said in a release, "We are pleased to honor and acknowledge Dr. Diddy's many contributions to this outstanding organization that has become a lifeline to seniors in South Orange County." Theme Dancing Through the Decades, the event was held April 14th at the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel. It raised $165,000 to support Meals on Wheels and some of the other programs and services provided by Age Well. And with a PhD in gerontology, Diddy has been the catalyst and advocate for senior services for more than 40 years here in Orange County.
Wow.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman.
She certainly is.
And we have a photo of her in today's Globe.
In today's Globe,
yeah.
Good.
Our column 2 humor columnist, or page 2 humor columnist, Jan Marshall, has a great column this week. She is giving us more reasons she has decided to give up dieting.
Oh, well, I like that article. Let's all just forget about it.
Jan writes, "I installed a face guard and braces on my teeth. I used an elephant-sized straw to provide nourishment. I placed a lock on the fridge, very expensive for the hacksaw, and replacing the fridge door weekly. But I truly appreciated my food more." She says, "One technique that worked significantly and I thought turned me into a gorgeous, tall, thin blonde was never eating anything anytime a Kardashian showed her butt."
That is funny.
Still, she says, "I am giving up dieting."
Yeah,
so,
oh gosh, that's
So you
too
can
funny.
read more of Jan's column on page 2 today.
I like it.
And of course, we get letters.
Yes.
So some of our topics this week are a warning about stem cells, concerns about transparency of the reserves accounting, an invitation from the Laguna Woods Bus Riders Club to Brad Hudson to ride the Laguna Woods bus system for 1 week. H.M. Edelstein writes, "How many friendly riders did you meet? Were the bus drivers friendly and helpful with your heavy briefcase? Would you want to make improvements to the service? We await your response. Use the Laguna Woods Globe or an open meeting accessible to all residents."
Oh, well, Brad, that's
So,
a
Brad,
challenge
here's
for
your challenge.
Brad. Okay. Wonder if he'll do it.
I don't
Wait,
know.
he might bring me along with a camera.
You know,
it's possible.
that's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
I like that.
We'll have to do that. Well, thank you again.
Absolutely.
And if you guys want to get your copy of the Globe, it's on the first floor of the Community Services Building. You can just ask the front desk and they can get that for you. We'll be right back after this.
Along this journey, there are stories of hope and victory with BreastLink. And we have today Sandy.
Yes, I have had victory in this last year. It's been a hard journey, but an amazing one because I was cared for by the best doctors at BreastLink. The doctors, the staff, everyone there, consummate professionals. They did everything that needed to be done so that I could do my job and just rest and get better. It's like they wrapped me in bubble wrap so I could do the hard work of getting better, but they took care of everything else.
My name's Erica, and I believe each mind matters.
A movement is growing.
A movement for mental health.
It includes millions of people like me.
Like me.
Like me.
Who are ready to create change.
Because half of us will experience a mental health challenge.
But no one is alone.
We all have mental health.
Sometimes we're okay. Sometimes we need support.
And when support is needed, it's okay to reach out.
Because people can and do get better.
And we make it possible by speaking up.
Being open and honest.
Living stigma-free.
Hope starts with me.
This is the mental health movement.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and with me right now is Susan McInerney. She is the manager of your Social Services Department. Susan, good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Mental health is always been an issue. I think it's become a bigger issue right now. One of the reasons, of course, is going on with the homeless and that sort of thing.
Right.
But we're going to talk about, how more it relates here to the village. So
Right.
what is mental health? I mean,
Well,
it
often,
really runs the
yes,
gamut for
yes.
somebody who gets stressed a little more often
Right.
to what we would call serious mental health problems.
Right, and that's what I like about this movement. In this month, California has done an initiative to advance mental health, but not necessarily mental illness, but mental health. How do you take care of your mental health? And that's something people
And that's
in the
a
village.
good distinction.
Yes. And how do we prevent it from becoming something overwhelming? And life can be overwhelming. And my push is, if you start to feel off in any way, or you're starting to feel sad, or things are getting overwhelming, that's when you need to reach out for help. And that's part of what we do in social services. We want people to be able to identify their mental health status, how they're feeling, what's going on in their life, and reach out when they need help and come to see us.
I just saw a report that the generation millennials, whatever you want to call them, 25, 30 and under, their stress level is so much more than the generation before them, and probably the generation before that. And of course, one of the obvious reason is we are now just being bombarded with information and technology. A lot of it's good, but it's like every single minute of the day.
Right.
You're no longer, even for seniors, you almost like no longer have that downtime anymore.
And I think that's an important thing, to put away the smartphone, don't watch the news for a moment and just take a breath. And a big push for that is to not isolate, not read and watch all that information, but take a break from it and connect with your neighbors and get out and talk to people, real people, other people is really important. Yeah, because you can get sucked into watching or doing too much media, for sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the things that the department here can help with, that social services. And we have a slide here of all the different type of things that you can help out with this.
Yes.
Now, to be fair, Susan sent me a lot of information, a lot of different numbers and outreach places that are within Orange County. But we thought it'd be better just to give you their number, because from there, because the other ones, there were like 4 or 5 other numbers.
Right, and I think that's a big key of what we do in social services is, if you have a question, we're really good problem solvers and we're very good at finding information. So whether it's about mental health, or it's about where do I get a wheelchair, or how do I take the bus.
It's amazing. And you look down the list here, and some of the things that they do, it might be a little hard to see on the screen, but you do assessments.
We do.
Now talk about that. I mean, some of these things are a little, are kind of, we've talked about before, the friendly visitor program and all that. But some of this stuff, counseling services and assessments.
Well, assessment is, and a lot of people will come in and say exactly about what their mental health status. They're feeling things aren't quite right, something's not the way it used to be. And with your mental health, I mean, it's your emotional, your psychological, your social well-being, and that's part of what we do as social workers. We're looking at the biopsychosocial assessment. We're looking at your whole life right now, and who's in there to help you, where do the issues lie, and what are your coping strategies. Because good mental health is going to help you feel more resilient. If you start to feel, if you're feeling depressed, it's hard to feel more resilient. You kind of get bogged down in depression. And that's part of the assessment process, is us looking at the person as a whole, seeing where they could use more support, getting the right referrals in, and getting a team around the resident that can help, and so they can age successfully.
Yeah, and we all kind of go through those ebbs and flows. That's normal.
It is normal, but it doesn't always, as you get older, some of the effects of whatever your past life is, or how you handled past stress, can compound as you get older. And it might be more, it could be harder, or you could be bringing back something from 20, 30 years ago that was a stressor that pops up in your 80s. So we're trying to help residents process how they're feeling now and how it contributes to their life now for something they might have not resolved when they were younger.
Very interesting. Now, as far as some of the referrals that you have, and we've talked about, I just mentioned that Susan had sent up to me the Orange County Crisis Prevention Hotline. One Stop. There's also the OC Warm line.
Yes.
And the only reason we're not putting up all these numbers is because I think it would be a little confusing.
Yeah,
It
and
would
you have
cause
everyone
some
be writing
stress.
down here,
wouldn't it?
cause stress, yes.
So the crisis prevention hotline, is that for somebody for maybe feel the suicidal thoughts?
Yes, I think,
or-
and sometimes I like to tell residents that, you know, an emergency doesn't always happen between 8 and 5 Monday through Friday.
Right.
And that's when we're in the office. But these numbers and these people, NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, this is a number that they can call, that you can call us during the week and get this number.
Okay.
And it provides, they call it the warm line, because someone's always there and you can talk.
Okay.
Same with the OC links.
Yeah, so those are all really good resources. And when you talk to someone, if someone's coming in and believe me, this is why your social services department is here. This is one of the main reasons they want to come in and talk. Do you first kind of assess the situation saying, okay, is this something that's just happening to you this week because you got a lot on your plate that you got to do?
Right.
Or, which again, as I said, happens to all of us and it passes, or is this something that is at a deeper level?
And sometimes, that's where our team is very successful in figuring out what's going on. When you first walk in social service, you're going to see Jean. She's going to meet with you and talk to you and say, okay, give me a little bit of an idea of what's going on. She's going to triage the information and then assign a social worker who's going to come out and make an appointment and talk to the resident. And typically, you're exactly right. Sometimes it could just be a very stressful week, and by next week the person's feeling fine, everything's smooth sailing. And then other times we realize, okay, this is a pattern. If every week you're having an emergency, if handling something as simple as arranging, setting up your whatever service it is in your home is overwhelming, and this keeps happening, then there's a problem. And let's look at the bigger picture of what it is.
Yeah, very good point. Social service department, what are your hours down there?
8 to 5.
All right.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Now, I want to mention something that a lot of people here probably remember a woman, Gemma Heffernan. And Gemma, sadly, she passed away just a few days ago. They had, from what I understand, a wonderful service for her yesterday. For those of you who may remember, before Susan, and before Betty, and before Marcia, there was Gemma. She headed up the social services department here. And then when she left that department, she worked with the adult day services with AgeWell. She worked with many different senior places around the area. She used to come on our show quite a bit and sit down, I remember, with Rob. And Rob and her, once they got talking, forget it. They were really good friends. And she did a lot for this community. And one of the things I understand that I didn't know about is that she was instrumental in starting the foundation for Laguna Woods Village. So she had a lot of influence on this community, and I know that maybe many of you probably remember her. I know a lot of people who still work here, who've worked here for a long time, remember her. I certainly do. She could be feisty at times. She was Irish, and I liked her. And you know, she's kind of like the type of person, remember, Rob and I used to say this and tell her this, type of person that you could just, you know, sit down with and talk. And we used to think, you know, let's sit down and just have a good old Irish whiskey with you and have a good. She was, you know, she's perfect at that. But she was so such an important part of this community that we wish her family well, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever knew her.
Just in passing, but of course she left a legacy that I'm in now. So,
yeah, definitely. You are that line.
Yeah.
Good to have you on today.
Thank you.
And remember, your social services department is here for you. They're on the first floor of the community building right here. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Did you know that we are living longer, healthier lives than ever before? And did you know that social interaction, brain stimulation, and exercise improve your quality of life? Did you know the Saddleback College Emeritus Institute offers 200 tuition-free classes to older adults in South Orange County? With over 30-plus locations between Lake Forest and San Clemente, it has never been easier to take advantage of your third active life. Sign up today.
Welcome back. Well, the building that we reside in is a community services building, and it is always very busy. And today I have Christine Spar, who's the Resident Services Director, to give us an update on things that happened last year and what's to come this year. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome.
Really
Well,
appreciate it.
It sounds like you just have so many things going on, and I just can't imagine, because every time I walk by that building downstairs or the floor downstairs, it is just packed with people.
Yes, it is packed, and yes, we're providing really great service, and we've had some changes in 2017, and I think it's actually enhanced the resident service experience.
Okay, great. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you had happen last year.
Well, first thing that we've concentrated on in 2017 was customer service excellence. We wanted to make certain that our folks were trained and that they also have been cross-trained so that they know how to do their jobs and how to take care of every resident and each call. So we want to make certain that they're informed. Also, we expanded our hours of operation, so we're now open Monday through Friday from 7 to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 8 to 5. With that came the shifts to accommodate the workflow. And so we have people who start their jobs from 7 to 4, 8 to 5 o'clock, 9 to 5:30, and 8:30 to 5:30, and 9 to 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Increasing these shifts have also helped us to kind of accommodate that workflow, and that's because we don't really know when residents are going to be coming through and how we're going to staff up until it actually happens. So we want to make certain that we're prepared for those visits.
Okay.
We also now have field dispatch for our residents. So this way, the call doesn't have to be transferred. We're able to dispatch our plumbers and our maintenance crew on Saturdays as well. So that really helps us to move along the tickets a lot faster.
Oh, that's great.
We've also implemented the care provider policy, as well as introduced our new RFIDs, which is optional right now to the resident. And what this means is that if they have an RFID, they won't have to go through the line with the visitors. They'll be able to just come up to the gate. The gate will automatically open, allow them to come through, and then close again. So we're very excited about that technology. We also implemented department staff meetings. And so, because we wanted to improve communications. There's nothing worse than not knowing what each other is doing in this environment. We wanted to make certain that we had good communication between the other departments so that we could resolve any kind of process issues that we might have, or any possible rework, which means that we're touching the same pieces of information twice. And so it's how can we eliminate that and provide a much better service.
Okay, great. Right. Now, I know that you just mentioned something very interesting where you talk about crossing over. We interview an awful lot of people from all different departments, so the RFIDs and things like that, we've heard so much about all of that. And I like the way that you've been saying that you've all been kind of working together, which is really important with such a huge community.
Yes, it is, and that's one of the, back in 2017, one of the residents' concerns is that our reps, perhaps our customer service reps, were not as informed as they should be. And so we touched on that continually. We have bi-weekly meetings. We attend the department meetings and bring those that need to be there with us. And then we make certain that they're cross-trained in order to be effective.
I see. Okay, great. So what about in terms of contact? How does that work? Like people contacting you, approximately how many people do contact you?
We have almost 300,000 calls last year.
Wow.
And of those, almost 100,000 were resident calls into resident services.
I see.
That means maintenance, the plumbing calls. We also handle the cable calls as well for broadband.
Right.
And we answered over 25,000 calls as well. Gate clearance is very popular.
Okay.
And although we do have Dwelling Live now, which I'd sort of like to sort of bring to our residents, and that's that they can now go online and also bring their guests in without even having to call the call center.
Right.
Last year we answered over 100,000 calls.
Just personal phone calls?
Just personal phone calls
Oh my gosh.
on gate clearance.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Also, we have internal calls. We have inbound and we have outbound calls. And that would mean to us that if we receive any voicemails or any emails, then we call back a resident in order to either get more information or to let them know that we're in the process of taking care of their request.
Right.
So as you can see by the summary of
chart,
2017, the chart, we're very, very busy.
Yes, you are.
And it just does keep us on track, however, and make certain that we can give our residents what they actually need in their services.
Now let's take a look at the chart just for a moment. So you took almost 300,000 contact calls, and then you have them divided up. Let's talk a little bit about the Dwelling Live. I do that in my community, and so you're able to make a phone call, or is it an online thing?
Yes, it is. They can go online, and Dwelling Live is soon to be the very first option that they have when they go into the web.
Okay.
In order to actually book their own residence in.
Okay.
Which automatically goes into the system, and it allows for a very smooth entrance for any guests.
Okay, great. Well, I love it, and it is very easy. And you can put permanent guests on there too. So if you have, family members that come often, that will be provided too.
That's correct.
Oh, that's great. Okay. All right, super. What else do you have? You have some planning of different spaces that you're going to be doing?
Well, we will be remodeling the resident service area. And that's because right now it is not user-friendly to our resident as well as to our employees. And to do that, we will be moving Alterations, who has a very large number of persons coming in to see them, to another area still on the first floor, as well as the mailroom will be slightly remodeled, and the resident services will be modeled so this way we have a very good placement for the front counter, as well as our call center reps, who are now 2 and 3 people in one cubicle, will be able to have their isolated cubicles so that they can provide better service without any distractions.
Okay.
We're also planning on a temporary location for resident services during this time, and we'll be, during the remodel, we'll be moving up to the 3rd floor.
Oh,
and we
you're joining us.
Yes, I am. And we'll make it very accessible for our residents, and hopefully make a very smooth transition.
Right. Well, I think that'll be easier said than done in some cases, right? However, if they show up on the first floor, they're going to notice that that there's construction. But one thing that I think we've talked to Chuck a couple different times about is, broadband services. People come into our office, they're like, oh, hey, I've got my box. Well, no, that's on the first floor, and you have to go to window number 9. So we've been so used to saying window number 9.
Well, it was originally on the 3rd floor.
Oh, right.
Which at that time was a very big inconvenience for our residents.
Okay.
And so we moved the Alterations CSR down, not Alterations, excuse me, the broadband person down to our area. And yes, you're right, they're at window number 9. And this saves the resident a number of steps.
Right.
And they don't have to worry about carrying the equipment if they're turning something in.
Well, exactly. So how long do you think the remodel will be?
Probably 6 to 8 weeks.
So not too
once
bad.
started. And right now, the plan is we are going out to RFP, so this way we can be competitive in the vendor market, as well as our architects have already been involved, and we have our project manager assigned by Ernesto, so we're very excited.
Good. Well, it sounds like you're making some good progress.
Yes, we are.
Good. All right. What else do you have?
Well, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the workplace and what is the greater goal of becoming an employer of choice. And that's every company is trying to help to defray the attrition, and sometimes you can have 25% of your employees just sort of transitioning out. Resident services is very popular in this organization, and that's because we train our reps to be very good at what they do. And so at times, we have other departments that are very interested in moving our persons over to their environment.
Okay.
And so we're constantly rehiring and training so that the next person that's going to take that move, who knows all about resident services and residents, can be effective. We've improved efficiencies and productivity. We've addressed employee health issues by taking proactive measurements. For example, instead of waiting for there to be a problem ergonomically, we are assessing ergonomics to begin with. So we make certain that when an employee comes on board, that they have all the tools that they need in order to be effective and able to do their job.
That's great.
We also want to improve staff morale. And so we want to make certain that people are comfortable during their day and that they are in a very pleasant environment.
Right.
And so you may notice that we have quite a few decorations downstairs, not only for our residents but also for our employees. So this way we feel comfortable, it's warm, it's friendly, and it's inviting.
Every time there is a holiday, I want to steal all those decorations in the front because they're always so good.
Well,
the
thank
spring
you.
and then the Valentine's Day. So far, good job.
Thank you very much. We have a very special employee in resident services who has that technique for making things absolutely beautiful.
Nice. Well, it always looks good.
She does a really, really great job.
She does.
So thank you for noticing.
Oh yes, absolutely,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. So what's coming up?
Well, what we're going to do is be changing our broadband customer service.
Okay.
What we find is that we really do need to have more of a specialty for technical support.
Okay.
Because we want to be able to dedicate the full amount of time that it takes in order to resolve issues over the telephone. So we're going to be introducing a technical support agent. And that will come out from the call center or the contact center. They'll be able to take a look at the box trouble, TV programming, remote programming, self-install questions of any type, and any connectivity type of issues. And they will be the ones that determine if a truck is going to be rolled or not. And that's because we want to be able to get the resident to have their service just as quickly as possible. So if we can all avoid sending a truck because we can work through the issues over the telephone, then that's what, that's what we want to do.
I wanted to clarify that because so if somebody was to call and maybe whoever was answering the phone couldn't answer that question, then it would go to this technical person?
That's correct.
I see, okay. And then that person would make a determination as to whether or not somebody needs to go out.
Right, or they'll work through the call just a little bit more and see if there's anything that they can do in order to work with the resident before sending out a truck.
Perfect.
So this way they get service quicker.
Absolutely.
Than having to wait.
Okay.
We will, on the other side of it, the call center will still continue to do what we do, and that is to process and set up the payments, update the resident information, answer any general information or billing questions, add and cancel services, transfer, create new accounts, or even schedule installs and box pickups. So it's not, that's only isolated to when a tech service is actually required.
Okay.
And the good news is that the contact center has been doing that, just that it takes a little bit longer for that type of call. So it makes it difficult to handle other calls that are coming in while we're in tech support. So this should be able to streamline it and provide much faster service.
Sounds good. Sounds great. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. And then, so when there's a lot of seats in the waiting room, and I don't know if you take a number or however that works. Tell me how the check-in process works.
Well, currently we have 4 lines. One for alterations, one for broadband, one for residential services, and then one for the welcome center, which is for the leasing and the IDs of the new residents that are coming on board. As when a person comes in, they look at the signs and they determine which line they're going to go into. Different than last year where they were standing, they can now sit and wait for an agent to call them. That for the first frees up in that particular designated area. We're going to be changing that effective May 1st, and we're going to have a much more improved check-in process. and there won't be any lines.
Oh, great.
Okay, they won't be sitting in a line.
Oh.
What we'll be doing is taking information at the front of the concierge desk of who the person is, what's their manner or their unit number, and then we'll take information as to and what is it that they would like us to serve them with today. And that particular information will go to whatever area they want to be serviced at.
Okay.
Now, we'll also have a kiosk in the future, so this way if they would like to input the data themselves, they can.
Oh, that's great.
But with the issue, what the really great piece of this is that they'll be able to come in, sit wherever they want, kick back, have a cookie and some water, and wait for their name to be called in the order that they were actually received.
Okay.
And each area actually receives a pop-up that says this is the next person to be taken care of.
Kind of seems like a doctor's office waiting, where you have a little kiosk, or you can go to the front, and then they have a little screen that you can look at. Will they be able to see something, or not really?
Not this time around,
Okay.
but possibly when we remodel downstairs.
Okay.
We'll do that. But this is like the pilot program. We want to make certain that
Great.
it works effectively before going in that direction, and make certain that the resident is happy with the services that we're providing.
Great. Well, it sounds awesome. That's excellent.
Well, thank you.
Good
We're very
stuff.
excited about this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did so much last year, and now you're doing more things this year. And I don't think there's any more room for them to build any more buildings in the area, but there's so many residents. It's such a large community. So you definitely have your hands full.
Well, we're definitely blessed.
Yeah.
To have all of our wonderful residents.
Oh, yeah.
And I just truly enjoy working with the residents on the property, because they're pretty fantastic people. And so are our employees.
Well, I hear you. I have learned so much about so many people here that live in the community, and then getting to know all the employees too as well, including yourself.
Well, thank you.
So thank you so much for being with us today. And I know there's a phone number that we can give out, so if you all have any questions about resident services, the phone number is 949-597-4600. So if anyone has a question or about anything you've talked about today, they can call that number.
Absolutely. We're here for you.
All right, great.
Thank you so very much.
And you've heard it here straight from Christine Spars. So if you want to visit her down in the first floor right now at Resident Services, you can do that. We'll be right back after this.
Well, we got some good weather for you coming up. Today, that drizzle that was supposed to happen just didn't. We got a beautiful day out. It's nice and sunny. I mentioned earlier we're going to actually get some onshore breezes, so that's keeping us a little bit cool, but still very nice, so it might get a little breezy in the afternoon. But overall, we are going to remain in this pattern here all the way really into through next week, where we're at the low to mid 70s. Just beautiful spring weather. All right, we will see you tomorrow. We're running out of time tomorrow on our show. Juanita Scoma will be here from United, and we'll bring you a segment from Sterling Financial. Also, Carol Moore will give us an update from the City Council, and UCI School of the Arts is going to talk about their upcoming symphony. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.